evening, all. We'll call the November 9th, 2022 meeting of Greenville Board of Public Works and Safety in order at 5:30 p.m. So roll call, please, Amanda.
Mr. Baldwin,
Here.
Mr. Hoover,
Here.
Mr. Rutherford.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. The minutes of our last meeting, October 17, 2022, have been distributed to members of the board. Any corrections, additions, deletions from staff? Is there a motion for approval as presented?
So moved. Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. First on our agenda tonight is Ms. Lisa Best. Good evening, Lisa.
Good evening, gentlemen.
I've got a couple things for us. We're going to the job description first.
Yes, sir. So the first I'm bringing is going to be for consideration. In 2023, the city has decided to move the fire marshal position into a civilian position from a merit position, much like we did with the police department with the watch commander moving from a merit position to a civilian position.
Any questions for Lisa regarding the job description we have in front of us? Board respect to this?
I'll move for approval. I'll second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. The next one.
So the next one I have to bring in front of you this evening is an amendment to the Franciscan Clinic Agreement with the city of Greenwood. They are our care provider for our health and wellness clinic here at our facility. So they wanted to do an amendment or clarification of one of their therapies. Go ahead and explain that.
Any questions? I think we've seen this. Any questions for? Swear? Does you have any questions for Lisa?
No.
I'll move to reapprove the request.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Lisa. Mr. Petty.
Good evening. That's right. Couple things actually, if that's okay. First of all is request approval to purchase Q's camera truck for the sanitation utility. Be paid with funds available in their 2022 sanitation budget using the HGAC cooperative purchasing contract at a price of $456,442.23. This is for the camera and the truck.
What kind of truck is this?
This is the camera system that they use to inspect the sewers.
It's expensive.
Yes.
Wow.
But valuable, right?
Yes.
The second part of your request, which we'll get to after we do this, is to trade in the old.
Yes, and I have one more after that.
Okay.
Yes, there you go. I can do that now.
We can finish this.
It's high definition camera, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
And we have
It's a Polaroid. Those are nice.
Mr. Hudson has advised us that we have, because of the uniqueness of the situation, this is the only provider to this. We're able to get it through some special purchasing arrangements. There are some certain things that we have to do. So we had a determination of the city of Greenwood Board of Public Works safety for a special purchase of a Q's camera inspection truck for the sanitation department, which we've all read. But I think we need a motion to approve this if that's the board's pleasure.
Okay, you're going to hear the longest motion that I've ever made on Board of Works and probably ever will make. I move to determine that the purchase of the Q's camera inspection truck as described and presented by the Fleet Maintenance Superintendent Todd Petty through the HGAC Purchasing Cooperative provides the opportunity for substantial savings in accordance with Indiana Code 522.10.5 to determine that there is only one source of supply for the Q's camera inspection truck meeting the sanitation department's specific needs. Brown Equipment Company, in accordance with Indiana Code 522-1013, to authorize the purchase of the Q's camera inspection truck in the amount not to exceed $456,442.23 from Brown, and to authorize the mayor and fleet maintenance superintendent to sign any and all documents to effectuate the purchase with final terms and conditions of the purchase to be determined by the legal department, and to direct that the special purchase determination be placed and maintained in a separate special purchase file.
I'll second that. Thank you, Jeff. I thought there was some big words that I couldn't handle. So
Struggle with a couple of them.
any questions for Mr. Hodson or Mr. Petty regarding this matter? None is there. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Okay, that's the first part, Todd.
Second part of that is request approval to trade the current Q's camera system that's in sanitation utility, mounted on a 2005 Chevrolet box truck. EIN number ending 144164, and trade-in amount of $15,000.
You trade into Q's? Or where's it traded into?
This will be traded back in Brown to the distributor.
I'll move for approval.
I'm sure you don't want to read that verbatim.
No.
Okay, I'll second that.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. One more.
And lastly, we had last minute on the availability of vehicles and pricing, so I'm requesting approval from the board to approve the purchase of two 2023 Ford Explorers for the police department in an amount of $43,207.25 each, to be paid using funds available in the 2022 GO bond.
Move for approval. Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Todd.
Todd, this cooperative we're purchasing it through, has the Board of Works approved that cooperative yet?
No, we need to do that.
Huh?
We need to get, no,
Go ahead to back to stand then. And this is the Houston Galveston Area Council,
yes,
and this is a cooperative involving several cities and states to purchase equipment.
right,
And are they able to negotiate a better price than would be available through competitive bidding?
yes,
Are you asking the council, the Board of Works to approve the use of this cooperative for this transaction and for future transactions?
I am.
Move that we approve using that council.
It's actually executing that.
Oh.
mission.
Yes, executing this. Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Todd. Chief.
Good evening.
Reading.
I have three requests. First is I guess I should start by saying, as I think you all know, Greg Lindridge, also Lindridge, retired back in the spring and took the civilian position as property manager. So he has been working really hard purging items that we can get rid of. Accumulated quite a bit. So we've got two different types of items that we need to get rid of. The first are firearms, and we typically get an agreement with Kiesler's to purchase them and give us credit for ammunition or other firearms that we need to buy for new hires. So that would be the first request that I have tonight.
Just go ahead and take that. John got the list of the firearms the chief wants us to either give to them, break to them, or restore. So is there a motion to approve that list?
I'll move to approve that list.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. The second is just general property that either has not been claimed or meets statutory requirements for us to auction off. list of those items we'd like to, Kristen's. I believe, legal would like you to authorize them to draft the agreement with Christie's and to have the mayor sign.
So moved.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
And my third request is to have Officer Tim Guinan's firearm, his backup firearm, Glock 43, retired, it's white.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Have a good evening. Next on our agenda is Greg Kleiss, with the airport, the estates and reserve. Greg, are you with us online? Amanda, did you see him on there? Anybody from DR home?
I do not see anyone.
Well, let's come back to it. We'll go to, can you,
You gonna go for it?
I'll go back to it. Yeah, Mark, can you?
Yeah, this one's pretty straightforward. This is the reserve of Rock Lane Bridge, Section 3. It's acknowledging completion of improvements and releasing maintenance guarantees. The final field inspection has been completed by my department. Everything has been found to be in satisfactory condition. We've also received notification from the sanitation department that the sanitary sewer is also in satisfactory condition. So we recommend that the board acknowledge the dirt work sponsor, stone base, asphalt binder, asphalt surface, tack coat, concrete curb, sanitary sewer, signs and monuments are still in satisfactory condition. To release the maintenance guarantees for the city. Needs to be reserved at Rock Lane Bridge section.
So moved. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, now we'll go to Sean Cofer from Scannell. Sean, are you with us?
I am. Good evening.
Good evening, how are you?
I'm doing all right.
We've got a memo here from Paul Pion. I hope you've seen it as well. Tell us what we're doing.
Yeah, I think he and I have had lots of correspondence. So essentially, this is the Amazon last mile facility that is on Collins Road. We had to do a little bit of rework on Graham Road to get it to standards. And so it just took a little bit of time to get to do that. We finally finished that work, had it all inspected. And so what we're looking to do is release the performance bonds and accept the maintenance bonds on that project.
We understand from our review the memo, that there's, we still need both digital Mylar as-bills.
That's right. Well, my department is working with Sean and Scannell on getting those, the ones we need. There's been some back and forth on what we want to see.
That'd be the only condition.
I'd move we approve requests subject to that condition.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thanks, Sean. Have a good evening.
right. Great. Thank you so much.
Next, we're gonna talk about Greenwood Assisted Living, memory care facility out in Denver Road. Judy Boulevard, are you with us? Judy? Well, what could you,
It's a Wednesday meeting for everyone all.
yeah,
This
Sam, you wanna weigh in?
This would be acknowledging the completion of improvements, accepting the improvements, accepting maintenance guarantees and releasing the performance guarantees for the Greenwood Assisted Living and Memory Care Facility. There is a condition on here that received.
Hey, my name's Randy. I'm online here with Nextcore
Okay.
for the assisted living.
Well, we were just going through Paul Pioni's memo to us about the request that you were making. You want to fill us in a little bit?
I don't know much about it, but I thought Judy was going to be online with us. So as far as I know, we're just I guess, requesting our performance bond to be released.
And something about you paying a couple $1 million to the city?
You know what? If that's what it is,
I usually don't get that good of a response. Mark has just been filling us in Judy's absence. Anything else? We've got one condition to,
Yeah, and we are actually in receipt of those maintenance
So you've got them,
guarantees
so
that we
you-
got today.
we can do an unconditional.
I'll move for approval.
I'll second.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. You can tell Judy she wasn't needed.
all right, that's fantastic. Thank you guys very much.
Good evening. Next,
Thanks.
Oliver Park, Block A, Lot 5, Mike Gordon. Very down. Mike, are you with us? Mark, try it again.
Rough night here.
I'm not getting extra pay. I don't think.
This is technology and completion of the private dirt or storm sewer erosion control, sanitary sewer and sidewalks at the Olive Branch Park Block A, Lot 5 site. And releasing the performance guarantees. Everything's private out there, so there are no maintenance guarantees being put into place.
And that's an unconditional approval.
Yes, sir.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Further discussion? None, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Next, we got Jacqueline Byler from the Indiana American Water Company, and we talk about our Main Street project. Good evening.
Good evening, how are you all?
Good.
All right, I'm sorry, I think Mark put like a quick handout. I didn't.
Proposed schedule in front of us?
Yeah, sorry, run a little behind. So really, I'm just here to kind of, we have two kind of one-day tie-in closures we need to complete for some tie-ins at Market Plaza and Beachview. The one at Market Plaza, we're proposing to do on the 14th as an overnight closure, so we would actually close overnight. O'Mara would cross and make that tie-in, and it would be open to traffic, eastbound would be open to traffic on the morning of the 15th with Stone and Cold Patch. And then just some notes on the 15th and the 16th, we'll be doing excavating within our westbound closure to complete our HMA patching so that we can get that open. Our plan is to open it there on the 18th. So westbound would be open on the 18th. We would complete the rest of our patching via flaggers on the 17th and 18th. And then also on the 18th, we would like to close Beachview with Main Street back open so that we can complete that final tie in there at Beachview.
Is it the entire length of Main Street that you're reopening?
Yes, I'm sorry, yes, yeah. All within our project limits.
Right.
Yep, so from Maine to, or from Madison.
Madison to,
Mhm. Then the mill and overlay, we're working with O'Mara to try to get that done this year. I don't know that we're gonna be successful with that. We may have to push the mill and overlay to the spring. But we will have full depth HMA patches, so we won't have any kind of cold patch over the winter.
Harry, have you had a chance to look at the schedule?
Jack just told me just a little bit ago, so the 18th, so.
Yes.
You'll proceed with the process with that.
can you check with your contractors on the eastbound Main Street lanes to fix the holes? The holes, they have filled temporarily with 53 stone, I believe.
Yeah, Mark mentioned that to me, and I actually shot a text message off to our inspector and asked him to get someone out there tomorrow morning. I do apologize. I know that Mark's gonna try to work with us, and so I'll do a follow-up with our contractor.
Yeah, it's really slowing traffic down
Yeah.
quite a bit because, over time, they
Yeah,
just kind of.
absolutely. I will get this done. And the other thing I did want to mention on the milling overlay, we're just gonna go ahead and commit to milling and overlay both the east and the westbound lanes of traffic from Beachview to our limits there at Madison. So that will be done probably, if I'm being honest, likely you're gonna see that in the spring. And we'll do that with flaggers.
And originally, you were just going to do patches on the.
Patches on the eastbound, full mill and overlay on the westbound, but looking at where we're at from a pothole perspective and just, we always have the best of intentions, but inevitably, something changes, so we're just gonna do a mill and overlay for the whole, from Beach View to Madison.
Is that a 1 inch or inch and a half?
Inch and a half, I think is the standard, yes?
Yeah, inch and a half.
Yeah, so we'll do that, we'll meet the city standard, which is that inch and a half.
Any further questions or discussion? Are you okay with the proposed schedule?
Yes, me and Jackie have been playing phone tag all week, but I did meet with their inspector on site on Monday, go over these items, and they've touched on any extra I had about it.
The one question I did have, we haven't really set a time for that overnight shutdown yet.
For the time limits.
Or really when we want to start that, like when we want to start that closure, do you guys have a preference on when you start closing it down? I think a lot of the restaurants here are closed on Mondays, so there's probably, I'm assuming the traffic dies out, and y'all don't have a board meeting, so I'm assuming the traffic dies out.
We have a plan commission meeting, which will probably go late, so it starts at 7:30.
Oh, okay.
So we probably want to start at.
Okay, so 9, they could start setting up the closing it, or you want to do? 9? What I don't want to do is push it so late that we then have it still shut down for morning traffic. Just trying to find that happy medium between.
Between 9 and 10 would be okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Michelle.
Do we need any official activity from the board or approve the
I think
proposed
you would
schedule?
need to approve overnight work on the night of the 14th.
And then the closure of Beach View on the 18th, correct?
Yes.
Such a motion?
I'm sorry to interrupt. I know in the past, in some of these closures, this summer especially, we put in monetary delays if they don't open on time. I don't expect that to happen here with the water company. I know something we try to make reports on closures, just so we have some teeth on people not reopening the roadway when they say they will. I don't know if there's any interest in doing that here, but.
I will say, we did commit to 2 months on Main Street. We are meeting that commitment, right? So I was here 2 months ago, it feels a lot longer, but it really was 2 months ago. We are meeting that commitment. The work that we're doing on Beach View is, and on Market Plaza is literally, 40-foot of trench. We just cannot do it under traffic safely. So I do understand the concern. And if you feel the need to do it, we can certainly handle it that way. What will likely change is if we're under any concern of weather, we'll have to push that date back, because it's not fair to my customers to incur that cost.
Terry, thoughts?
I just had a question for Jackie on, you're gonna be doing the notification to local residents about the closures, and I wanna make sure that's not, like it doesn't happen tonight, and they're notified when they get up in the morning.
Right.
It usually falls on the contractor.
Absolutely. So I'll work with Crossroads. I'll have them put together some communication and get it distributed out to the businesses for that full closure, or that overnight closure of our, really just all the work that's remaining. So we will do that. We will also we have that code red system, and that was really effective when we had a community meeting, and it calls, texts, emails all of our customers. So we will likely use that as well. It's a good way to just get a lot of information out fast.
Brad did a similar notification when you guys closed Main Street. So,
Yeah.
Made a data set. Yeah, so he has the list of it.
Thank you, Mark, for your comment, reminding us about, and Jackie, I think we're trying to set a precedent to keep our contractors in line and so string out. So I would suggest that we do the $500 a day penalty. It's not opened on time. And obviously, we're sensitive, and there'll be an exemption if there's some weather delays that are out of your control, contractors' control. So,
Would you allow Indiana American Water to work with me if there's a weather delay to do it a day later or something?
yeah, absolutely.
Looks like you're gonna be okay. They can't predict that far.
I did want to mention too, I believe that Omera has secured the concrete necessary to complete their sidewalk patches and stuff as well. So, I mean, kudos to them, because I think they probably had to sell a pinky or something. It's pretty good on there.
So be that motion to add the $500 a day penalty, subject to exemptions to be negotiated between the water company and city engineer. motion,
And you're approving the 14th and 18th.
we're going to closing schedule as they go.
I'll second that.
Further discussion? Say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right, have a great day, guys.
Thanks, Jackie. You too. If anyone from the audience wishes to address us, either in person or online. Sam, IDM compliance status?
Nothing new to report on IDEM compliance plan.
Very good. First status of passed.
First up is a consideration of amendment to the Hirons Consulting for a special assignment. This was related to the shooting incident at the Greenwood Park Mall.
This is for the mayor's signature. Should you approve it?
Yes.
Any questions for Sam on this?
I'll move for approval of the mayor's. Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next up is consideration to the corporate counsel contract with the TAP law firm. This is for the same price as it has been for the last 3 years.
We're just extending the term, is that right?
Correct.
I'll move that we approve that and authorize the mayor to sign on behalf. Second.
Next up is,
We've got-
Further discussion?
oh, sorry.
Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
This next up is engagement with the Williams Barrett McCoskey Law Firm to pursue an unsafe building problem at 165 South Madison Avenue.
Trying to picture that, Sam, where is that?
Used to be the Beat Palace. And then there were Edward Jones signs in the
Okay.
windows for a long time.
Questions for Sam on this? After you review the contract? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
I would move that we approve the contract with, yeah.
I'll
Williams.
second that. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next up is approval of the social media policy, which we created in conjunction with Hirons.
This is for all city
Web pages.
web pages.
This is just a sort of an addendum to what we already have in place, correct?
Correct. But just more specific, we had numerous instances of inappropriate posts on our social media pages.
Not my house.
No,
I'll move for approval of this updated policy.
Second.
Further discussion?
Is there a penalty or anything? Or-
no, this is just what we're going to strike.
I got you. Okay.
Hearing no discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right, I have a walk-on, please.
Okay,
The London Winnie Group is our financial advisors for our bonds, and they are closing a bond. And the bond buyers represented by the Bose McKinney Law Firm. The London Winnie Group also does work for Bose McKinney. I don't think it's a conflict, but they wanted us to acknowledge that they made the disclosure.
you're comfortable with it, Sam?
Yes.
I'll move that we approve that and determination is not a conflict there.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Got a big list there.
Yes. Would you like me to go through them or?
Maybe just list the 5 addresses, and if there's anything that we need to be particularly aware of, let us know.
So the first one we have on there is encroachment 2022003 at 777 Kensington Park Road. It's a fenced encroachment into a drainage utility easement. We have recommended approval of that with certain conditions. The next 3, encroachment 2022004 through 006. They're 3 separate properties. They came as 3 separate encroachment requests, but they're really one single project. These property owners at 222 Suncrest, 236 Suncrest, and 248 Suncrest are looking to install under drain and French drains in their backyard, a drainage utility easement to alleviate some drainage concerns they have back there. We recommended denial of this request, are not comfortable with drainage being put in that was not designed or put together on plan sheets by a professional engineer. It's a dry well, so it has no clear outlet point. And stormwater has informed me there's lots and lots of unpermitted pipes like this in this neighborhood, in this development. They feel it's created more problems than it's helped, and they've recommended that these petitioners come to them and work with them on a public-private partnership to maybe find a larger solution for that neighborhood, drainage concerns of that neighborhood.
So just the three there on Suncrest.
Yes, we'd recommend denial on those three. And then the last one is encroachment request 2022007 at 839 Bow Street. It's a fence encroachment request. Recommend approval of it with some conditions. This one is kind of unique. There's an overlapping electrical line easement with the drainage and utility easement. So one of the conditions is that we clearly can't give approval for an easement that's not ours, but we can approve them to encroach in our drainage and utilities.
Is there a motion with respect to the three on Suncrest Drive?
I move we deny the request. Second.
Further discussion?
Do they have the ability, I mean, so that they can come back and appeal it, right?
Correct, or if there's someone, I don't know if there's someone here tonight that would like to discuss it or is online tonight, we did send out memos this afternoon.
In the process, I mean, this is a relatively new process for us, but I think you suggested that they work with Mr. Jones and his department, figure that out. I guess if there's not a satisfactory resolution to them, at least they can come before us and
They could
plead their case.
Yep, certainly.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And that's to deny those three requests. Is there a motion with respect to Powell Street? Kensington Park Road.
I would move that we approve both those requests as presented with the conditions outlined in the report. Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. And Mark, thank you. I think that's an efficient way for us to do constituents out there.
The next item I have for you is the 2022 pavement crack sealing project, award of the contract in the amount of $50,000 to Howard Companies. Three companies to submit a quote for this project. All three companies were responsive and responded. The quotes were opened on October 20th, 2022 at 3 p.m. And Howard Companies has a low quote. The lowest, most responsive quote is deemed by the legal department, and so we're recommending award the contract.
Have you done work with them before?
I believe they did the crack sealing program last year.
I'll move the contract to Howard Companies as the lowest responsible quote.
And authorize the mayor to sign
Sign
the
on
contract.
board behalf.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Pass.
Next item I have before you is Berry Chase, Section 1. This is located outside the city limits in Jackson County. At our last meeting, we executed a contract for viewing the sanitary sewer they're putting in this subdivision development. This is to accept and execute inspection and testing agreement and ratify the acceptance of the upfront fee for Berry Chase, Section 1.
So moved.
Second, further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
The last item I have on here is two sanitary sewers special agreements. We're asking that you authorize the mayor or deputy mayor to sign on the board as he has the sanitary sewer service special agreements once they're approved by city legal, sanitation, and the engineering division for Scottsdale Estates Section 2 and for Oliver Springs.
I would move that we approve this authorization and authorize the mayor or deputy mayor to sign. Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. That it, Mark?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Great. Evening, Greg.
As you may recall,
little while back, we sent out the budgets for sanitation and waste management in our new format on the website. Hope everybody had time to take a look. If you have any questions, happy to take a look at those. We asked you this evening for approval on each of those budgets.
Anybody have questions for Greg? Either one of these budgets, sanitation operating or waste management?
I move for approval for sanitation. Operating budget.
I'll second that. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. The motion with respect to the waste management budget.
I'll move that we approve the waste management budget for 2023. As presented.
Second, further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you very much. Thank you, Greg. Mr. Rutherford,
I move for approval of the claims as presented.
I'll second that.
further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Anything else for the good of the cause? We'll stand adjourned at 6:05 PM.